Okay guys, first of all, shout out to Wotan who actually sent me $5 for my last video. I will add a PayPal me link, der große Presto, here below. If you like the video or I hit something I show you in competition. And I'd appreciate if you send a little tip. You don't have to, it's YouTube after all, so it's free. But let's start. Okay, today we will look at the most common reactions my opponent actually do when I enter the saddle. We will start with double trouble, and then next episodes we will go into other stuff. But first of all, if I enter into a heel hook, no matter which heel hook I go to, no matter the position, I will always try to collect the secondary leg, okay? Even if I'm already digging for the heel, I will try to control his secondary leg, because the less movement he can create, the better my chances are to submit him. So let's say I'm just doing a back step, a dub step, I'm doing the dub step. I'm doing a back step, and here I will try to collect his leg right away. And even if now I would let go of this leg to go for the actual heel hook, I would try to control his leg in some way so that he can't spin out. Because what he wants to do is free his leg, bring this to the bottom, or like this, turn this foot down, and then just run away. Okay? So this is actually hard for me now to expose the heel. So the first and one of the best, if not the best controlling position there is in the heel hook game is the so-called double trouble, where I not only control his primary leg, which I want to take, but his secondary leg as well. Here's the first game changer. Do not just do it like this, but always bring your elbow inside his feet. Okay, you see now actually already his hip is rising a little because there is already some tension here. There is no tap whatsoever, but this is a really good controlling position. This is much more loose. He can still turn this foot. There's not that much pressure on his knee, but as soon as I bring my elbow in, this is really tight already. Remember last episode, check it out. Foot over foot is a really strong position from here. I have already really good tension here. And now let's see what most people do to defend this position and how we can react. The first reaction they usually do, and this is actually not a bad reaction, is to try to pull this leg back. Okay? As soon as Heiko is able to pull this leg and free this, he will bring it to the floor or kick my hamstring or whatever, turn out, hide the heel, and now my chances of the heel hook are diminished. So, what I actually want to do is bait him to do that. Because if he retracts this leg, this gives me a really good opportunity to attack his secondary leg. Okay, and the first thing I would do here is I try to feel, is he the guy who wants to straighten his leg, or is he the guy who wants to retract his leg? And as soon as I feel he's willing to retract this, I will pull against it and then suddenly let go. And you see this happens, and it creates a really big gap here, but I knew he wanted to retract this, so I still will hold tight on here. Okay, he thinks here he might retract this, I let go and I create this big gap. Now I will immediately bring this butterfly in. And this already will create a lot of tension here. We had to do a cut here because the handy shut down automatically, so again, I pull, he counter pulls, I let go, but I still keep control of this leg, and I bring my butterfly hook in here. Now, see, his knee points to the inside. Now if I bring this in, it usually turns to the outside. And this will let his heel slip in front of my ribs. So I keep control over the toes, but his heel now is in front of my ribs, okay? I don't want him to go out too much. I turn his knee out like this, because then I might lose the foot. But if I only let his heel slip here, this is a really good position for me. Now I go to my biceps, bring this on top of his shin. Okay, and now what I actually do, I'm using this as a lever. So you can't really see it, you have to feel it. I'm not squeezing, I'm not falling to the side, but I actually, this here is fixed, so I push on his toes, and this is an inside heel hook, but a reverse inside heel hook if you want. So I'm really using this to push his toes and really lever this, and this will put pressure on his knee. Even more so if this foot here pushes out a little. Now see, I use this and my shoulder goes over his toes. And this is Aoki Lock, really good finish. Okay, another thing I could do, but I have to do this before I let the heel slip. It won't work otherwise. Don't ask me why it won't. So I can also put tension to the other side. So I try to keep his knee turned in. Now if his heel slips, there's much more pressure already, okay? Because his heel is going to the ceiling and his toes are going down, and I put inside pressure as well. So this is actually a counter force to the rotation of his toes. This will be even more pressure, but it's harder to get because I actually prefer if he pulls this back to come inside here right away, and this will turn his foot out and I will have a really good Aoki Lock just right away. The next one would be, or let's say there are ankle locks here, okay? I don't like them that much because I feel like they are not really strong. You can use them more to get some reaction of him, and he maybe tries to free his leg and then you can expose the other leg maybe. But in case you are the best ankle locker in the world, I will still show them. You can just grab here, do the same we just did with our foot with your arm, and try to get really high here and get into an ankle lock position. This I think is really weak because there's no control over his hip whatsoever. He can retract it, he can straighten his leg, he can then pull it back again and go like this in the washing machine, and you won't get any finish. So if you want to go for an ankle lock, I would recommend to go under first, get a little higher here, and then switch and go for the reverse figure 4 ankle lock. Okay, this is much stronger. It's still not really good because the ankle lock is one of those techniques you will get it in training. I just saw Heiko's already raising his hand because there is some pressure, but in sparring or in competition, people are willing to take a lot more pressure, and it's really hard to break someone really good from this position where I have no control over his hip. Anyways, we're here, I get an ankle lock grip. Don't get too high because there will be no space for your other arm. So be mid-calf, then go as deep as you can. You really want to go deep. I really aim, Heiko is a big guy, but I really aim to get my elbow as high as possible here. Okay, if it's here on his calf, there's no use. I cannot finish the ankle. I'm going here, I go really high, and now, see, I do the reverse figure 4, I make a fist, and I rotate this out. This will add some pressure, and now I will bring my elbow in again, and now I can really fall back and try to finish him. I feel the finishing power here is really on the sharp side here of my arm. This is what's going into his Achilles, okay, and I can bring this really high, and now see the turning of my elbow gives me much more range. Maybe I even kick him into the groin. This is a plus. Okay, I go foot over foot again and I just fall back. And here I might get a tap. Again, in sparring it's another thing. But sometimes from here they panic, they want to retract this leg. I let it go, no problem. I get kicked in the face, but I get the heel. Okay, so the ankle lock and the reverse figure 4 ankle lock are options from Double Trouble. Just to let you know, just play with it and try it. I think the Aoki Lock is by far the best, even with these big legs. I'm hardly able to get it, but it should work for you. The next defensive reaction, and this is actually much better for him, I think, is to straighten this leg as much as he can. Remember, my elbow is inside here, so it will be easier for him to straighten this anyway. Okay, and from here, it's hard for me because I cannot expose this. As soon as I let this go, which is really trapped, can retract this leg and now he's free to go. So this is a good reaction for him. Also, even if I try to go here, he can start going belly down. Let's go a little bit to this side first. He can from here start going belly down, and now he can pressure into me and try to stand up. And if he manages this, this will be hard for him. Okay? He is in deep trouble already, so this is more of a late stage defense, but he can buy a lot of time with this and always try to free this knee. Okay, so in the process of straightening here, and he goes up and he turns, I might lose this knee, and that's good for him. Yeah. And now the primary leg is gone and I had to switch. So this is actually a pretty good reaction for him. So the first thing you would try from here is always the leg lace. Always go for the leg lace, because the leg lace is really easy to get if he straightens his legs. It's a really good thing. I'd say like 80% of the time you will get the tap. And it's a little weird because sometimes it just won't work and the other day it will fit perfectly. So it's really hard to get it perfect, but there are a few things you can do and most of the time this will work. Okay, so I bring this inside arm between his legs and come really high here. This would be the leg raise. The first mistake people do is they will just close their hands and now try to push as hard as they can. Actually, people might tap from this because this might actually hurt here, but this is more of a pain, and Heiko's a big strong guy, he won't tap to this. But as soon as I raise my arm, and this is the same movement we did to finish the heel hook, so it's bringing your elbow in and your wrist out, this will let me climb higher and higher and higher, and the lever gets better and better and better. Here is a lot more pressure than here. Okay, this I can pull as hard as I can, there will be no tap. Now I turn this up, and this is much better. I don't have to go like this because oftentimes I will bring my hand down again. I stay with the hand as high as I can, just do the gable grip, and now I pull. Oftentimes I can get the tap here, but now I'm going to add force from this knee and push it in again. So this goes to the wall, this goes into the camera, and then I can really create some really bad side knee bar pressure, and this will be like this. And actually people think he taps from this force here, and he might. So if someone says, oh, it was no knee bar, I tapped because my feet hurt, it's okay, you tapped. But if I bring this knee to the camera, I can really add some side knee bar pressure. So even if he makes really strong legs, first of all, I go really high, I bring this in, and now I pressure my knee to the side. And this will really hurt, okay? So the next one would be my favorite one right now. I hope I can get it with Heiko, but I think so. He straightens his legs, okay? So he's really focused on straightening his legs. What I, in the best case scenario, want to have is to take this leg, bring it over here, and have this position, where I can take both sides, okay? We will look at this soon. But even if he straightens his leg here, as soon as I let go of this grip and go for the 2-on-1, he will retract the leg. And it's hard to hold. See, Heiko has strong legs, so if he retracts this and I try to avoid, I can't, okay? And even if I can hold it for a while, I will not be able to bring it over. So, here comes the best thing. I take my heel and bring it to his hip. This bite. Oh, it works better than I thought. This bite is really strong. Even if I have no hands here, and I only get a good bite here, and I say, retract your leg, please. This will buy me a lot of time. Now imagine I not only have this, but I fall back and go to 2-on-1. And now I say, retract your leg. This is really hard. So what he will have to do is push this foot down, and then he can retract his leg again. But this buys me so much time that I almost always am able to bring this one over with the time I bought. So we start in the double trouble, my elbow's inside. Now from here he straightens his leg, I can't go to the leg lace, or I just decide to go for the other stuff. I bring this one here, and as soon as this is here, I don't want to give him too much time to clear this. I mean, he can clear this and I come back up, but as soon as he feels there's something going on, he will clear this fast. So from here I go here and immediately pull back and grab the feet. From here I bring this over and stuff it under my armpit. And now I have the 12 shooter, and I can choose which side I go. And the good thing is, if I go here and he turns to defend, he will expose this heel. And if I go here to take this and he turns to defend, he will expose this heel. So this might actually be the best leg locking position from Saddle. I cannot take here, I cannot take there. It's really nice. Okay, boys and girls, I hope you liked it. If there's anything we can do for you, just comment below. Look at Reddit, we have our own Reddit thread since a week or so. Some people like what we were doing. Send a little tip, like, subscribe, you know how to support us. See you next time.